Well, what's going on, everybody? It's the Defenders of Comics, and we are going to talk tonight about He-Man. Basically, it's being killed, in my opinion. When you have somebody like Grace talking bad about the review, I think that's a very noticeable thing, in my opinion. What do you think, Ace? Sorry.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like, yeah, no problem. Hey, yeah, I think it's. Look, I haven't seen it yet. Gonna watch it Friday, obviously, but not sounding good. And like you said,
Mm-mm.
with Grace, kind of slamming it. Not terrible for her, but and then of course the other websites like Clownfish and some of those that had called it and got savaged for doing so. I think they're gonna have validation on it's exactly what they feared it would be. So, yeah,
We're
I don't
going to
know.
go into more
They'll be talking
details
about it though.
a little later in the stream. We do have some announcements, and actually, I'm actually excited about this. We're going to be trying to do more of this, but do you want to say what our is it August 4th? What we're going to be doing?
Yeah, we're shooting for August 4th. We're gonna have a big time guest, Aaron Lepresti, who's done tons of work for Marvel and DC. Big time artist, very popular, and he has a new crowdfunding book, and he's gonna have it out on Indiegogo. I think today he just said, or yesterday on a stream, that he's shooting for mid-August to launch it. So we're hoping to have him on here, talk about his history as a professional artist, and also, you know, giving us the scoop on his new book. It's called The Wraith of God. So go check it out now. He has an ad for it up. Sign up for it now, and you'll get some extra perks if you do so. So yeah, super excited.
It looks really good too. I mean, just the drawing, the artwork is phenomenal. Um, One thing about him too is I've recently started watching more and more of his live streams, and it's
Oh yeah,
it is absolutely amazing to me how fast he can just make a new drawing. Like he can make a sketch in probably less than 15 minutes. And it's unbelievable.
really? Oh
Yeah.
wow. I have
He
none of that skill. Really
he did
sucks.
Sabretooth, and he said it was the first time he ever drew Sabretooth. And he drew it in probably 20 minutes, and it was phenomenal.
No kidding. That's
Yeah.
awesome. Yeah, I'm
I
excited to have him on, and so
I'm
and
really
his book
hoping
looks
this
really good.
is
I mean, it appeals to me. So
yeah. And I'm really hoping this is a direction that we can start going in a little bit more, is trying to interview some guys like this, because Indiegogo guys need some help.
yeah,
Not like they don't have a pretty big following already. We're not going to be able to maybe someday get to the level of
right.
getting Ethan Van Sciver on here and interview him, but I would like to get Andy Smith. I'd like to get some other guys like that and go from there.
Yeah, we're gonna have to get a lot bigger for that. But I know what you're saying, and I totally agree. So,
I think
but you're right. Yes,
we could
yeah.
do
I think
Andy.
Andy Smith would be a great one to have on. A lot of the Comicsgate guys and crew are, some of the old school, well, at least for modern audiences, but are still super talented and have a lot to offer and want comics like we want them. So yeah, I think that's why they would come on a small channel like ourselves, because they want to reach everyone. And
Yeah.
they still can make tons of money doing this, but it's good to reach out and sell as many books as they can.
I also think it's important for us. I know we're not a gigantic, social media platform. I mean, our TikTok is getting bigger, and I think it is important for us to
Mm,
reach out and try to do as much as we can to help people like that, because those are the writers that we love. Those are the artists that we loved, and they're sort of getting pushed out. Especially Aaron's story is sad. What happened to him? I mean, I don't know exactly what happened, but
yeah,
from what I'm hearing from him, it's pretty sad how he got pushed out.
yeah, and it feels like that's happened to a lot of those guys. Whatever contacts they had at the organization are gone. They bring in new people who have different motives, directives, ideas, and they don't want the fan favorites anymore. They want to go in a new direction. So what happens is they just don't get callbacks and can't get any new work at those at the big two. So they're forced to do something else. And I think it's pretty true of a lot of the fan favorites. So
Yeah. I am gonna try something real quick. Do you want to watch his video real quick? Andy's?
yeah, let's promote it a little bit and see. Yeah.
Okay, let's see. You can tell me if you can hear this, but I think you'll be able to. Now, isn't
That's a
this
sharp-looking book.
dropping? It is. And isn't this dropping? Isn't he going to start it pretty? It's not far after our interview with him.
No, yeah, he said mid-August, so I don't know. He's given a specific date yet. So yeah, he's getting it ready, and I think it looks good. I mean,
Yeah, so
that's a
make sure you
good-looking
go.
werewolf there.
Yeah. Make sure you go to the Indiegogo website. All you have to do is look up Wraith of God, and you'll be able to see that information right there. But I think it look like you said, the drawing right there is just unreal. There was another one you were wanting me to look up. What you sent me today? What was the name of that?
Oh yeah, it's a really small project called The Relentless Tin Soldier. And I think he had Billy Tucci do a cover, which Billy Tucci's a legend, and it looks like it's struggling to get funded a bit. So please try to support it. I just think it looks really cool.
I can
Kind
tell
of
you
almost looks like a Captain America meets Colossus.
the one thing that I can tell you just by listening to Ethan enough that he would say something about this is this page Ethan wouldn't like at all. Like there's no video, there's no pizzazz, it's if you didn't know the guy like you do, I don't know if this is a page that would jump out at you right away.
No, and there are a lot of guys that are having similar campaigns, so it would appeal to me because I'm searching for something like that. But you're absolutely right; it's not going to jump out. And oh, look, Graham Nolan did a sketch too. So,
Yeah.
yeah. So it was interesting that Ethan mentioned the book on his show the other night. So, yeah, there's Graham and a few other guys. There's Billy Tucci. So yeah, you're right. Yeah, I don't know who's actually producing this. They're just doing the covers, but
Now
it looks interesting and it's good to support these. Yeah.
Billy is always on on it a lot on Ethan's stream. Now, I think I saw Graham on there the other night. Wasn't he on there?
Yeah, Graham is on less frequently. Now that's a good cover there. I like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Graham's on a little less frequently. Billy's on a lot. Billy Tucci, teen sensation Billy Tucci.
Yeah.
So
he just had a big old omnibus just released.
Yeah, she was huge in the 90s. Go fund it. I backed it today. Huge omnibus of all the old She books. Yeah. And it's all ready to go. He just needed the funding ready to make it. I mean, it's all ready.
How do you spell the She again?
It's SHI.
I'm gonna see this.
There it is. Yep.
This thing is huge, man.
Oh, he's up to 70 grand. Yeah. He got it funded in like 10 minutes. So
it's a huge
but
book.
It looks nice.
Look at this. You don't see this
Yeah, his
anymore.
art's amazing. No, it's just really good.
Marvel would be
So
like,
check
nope,
it
that's not
out. I
happening.
mean, this is the kind of character that should. Yeah, exactly. But it's a female character. It just screams to me that it should be adapted today as a movie or TV show, a streaming show.
He's got. We're not gonna watch all of this because it's 2 minutes.
Yeah.
Hello, everyone. Creator of She, Billy Tucci here, and I am so proud to announce the debut launch of our very first omnibus edition, the She Omnibus Volume Number 1. The groundbreaking masterwork that literally changed the face of comics and launched the Bad Girl Revolution returns in this premiere formatted 500-page full-color hardcover edition, collecting all 12 issues of She, Way of the Warrior, the 3-part interlacing Tomoe miniseries, and the 48-page She vs. Tomoe, celebrating the 25th anniversary of this epic crossover classic.
I mean, that's pretty impressive. Have you
Yeah,
read a lot of the She stuff?
I have some sporadic issues that I used to pick up. But no, that's why I'm gonna go ahead and back the omnibus because I've only got a few issues here and there. It's a cool book, and I did get his last crowdfunded book featuring She in it. It was really good. So yep, definitely back this one. I think it'd be worth the money.
Ethan is, what is that one called? The Rainbow Warrior or something like that?
Well, close, yeah. Rainbow Brute. It's a mash of He-Man and Rainbow Bright. It looks pretty funny.
Oh, here we got it. I just wanted to go over this because I thought this looked pretty cool. He's already raised 441,000 for that. That's insane, man. And see, this is what he was trying to teach people. He's learning that it needs to be quick.
All Caps Comics, Rainbow, the Brute, the
Yeah,
last
it's real quick.
real man in Fairyland, a tale of prismatic pain, a spectrum of brutality, and a pretty good dad. Choke slam a unicorn by backing it today, only on Indiegogo.
Choke slam.
Yeah, that was exciting.
Unicorn.
I backed that one. Choke slam a unicorn. Hey, and to piggyback on that, if you can pull it up real quick, go to Cyberfrog Action Figures. He's got a little ways to go to get those funded, but man, I recommend getting those. Snag them. He's in the process right now. He'll get it funded, but
now why?
What is he
Okay,
at? 287. Yeah. So
as a fan, why do you say snag them? I mean, is there a reason? Do you think they'll go up in value, or is it just cool?
Well, both. I mean, I think those are going to be highly sought after items. They're going to have a limited production run because Ethan's funding that himself. And while he's got quite a bit of money compared to us, he's not quite at a McFarlane or a Hasbro level, obviously. So, this is his first foray into action figures, and I think he's done a pretty great job by the looks of it and the articulation and just the overall appearance of them. So they're going to go up in value. I bought the whole set, and then I also bought one standalone Cyberfrog in addition, so I can open it up for my office. But yeah, and then there's stretch goals there for some add-ons and things like that. And if you know of his other character, Salamandroid, it's a huge sized character. If this is a hit and takes off, the second wave will have Salamandroid, and that'll be an amazing action figure.
See, I'm going to be a bad person right now. I haven't read one Cyberfrog. And I wanted to get, he had like the whole 90s collection, but you can't get that now. And I wanted to try to get it. Yeah. What do you suggest then for somebody like me? Because I'm not going to go on eBay and spend the price that they're wanting right now.
No, I literally just got that in the mail today, the warts and all. And I haven't even gone through it yet. So if you don't have that, and he's just collecting that, he probably even knows the art is okay, and the writings, it was in the 90s. So for you, he does have an eBay store, I believe. You could go on, and I think you already did. You not get Blood Honey? If you
Did I?
don't start out with Cyberfrog Blood Honey on his eBay store.
Okay.
I think he did actually close Cyberfrog 2 Wrecked Planet. So he's gonna be funding that one shortly. And then he'll be launching Cyberfrog 3. Gosh, I think maybe he said by the end of the year.
Well, these are what he has right now in his campaigns that are on. So Cyberfrog warts and all.
That was the one that just came in today. So there you go.
That's the
Cyberfrog
90s
2.
omnibus, but I thought it was
Correct.
closed.
Well,
Yeah, it is
not really
closed.
Sure, then.
It's
yeah,
closed.
Okay, I was thinking it
But
was too. Yeah.
He said it says they were all in open. And what was the other one that you said? Cyberfrog, not Unforgettable.
No, Cyberfrog. The first one's Blood Honey, and then
Oh, here it
Cyberfrog
is.
2 Wrecked Planet.
Yeah, this one's closed
so,
too.
Yeah, Blood Honey's a long. It's older, and I've never went to his eBay store, but I think you can get copies still on his eBay store. So
Okay.
but yeah, that's where you want to go to get that stuff. So
I
hey,
mean,
also as part as a Comic Gates guy, Shane Davis is he's a great artist. He's done a lot of. He did Captain Comet, Strange Adventures, Metal Men, did Superman, Earth One, amazing artist. He had his first campaign, Starlight Cats, which I backed. Gotta admit, it's not that appealing, but he's going for the home run on this next project, Inglorious Rex. It looks really good. Really
Okay.
good.
See, I think this is sort of what we need to start doing, at least have a segment for every time we stream on Indiegogo stuff. I need to get educated on it, and I think we can do a really good job on educating other people on it too. And honestly, it's a niche. I mean,
that's going to be great. Yeah.
So,
and more and more people are going to crowdfunding because Marvel and go ahead.
No, you go.
I was just going to say more and more people, just old time fans like us, and even younger fans who just are turned off by the Big Two's overall direction. Not all their books are crap, but overall, are going to the crowdfunding books because it's like, hey, I want to read a story without a political slant. I just want to see kick-ass action, art, cool-looking characters and heroes. So,
what's going on, Ref?
Hey,
good evening.
And by the way, we have Sam in the chat already.
Hello, hello.
I think we can do something, and I don't know the correct way to do this, but at the same time, I think you and Ref are going to have to be the leaders on educating me enough to try to get word out, so we can either start making TikToks about them, we can do more stuff on our stream, but I'm a organized guy on at least some kind of a list because I can't just fly by the night and just try to figure out what I should look up. That's the hard part for me.
Oh no, we can work on now let's be honest, because we are a small channel, Ethan Van Sciver, John Malin, Shane Davis, these guys are big time artists. They don't necessarily need our backing. Their books get funded within minutes.
Mm-hmm.
But there are some other guys that are doing very well, but not hitting those huge numbers, and maybe we can do our little part to increase their books and help whatever we can do. So we can go through some of those and, kind of promote the ones we really think are good and that deserve a little more attention.
Can you talk a little bit about what Ethan does for all of these writers and artists on how he basically puts them under his wing and helps them so much? I mean, he's passionate about helping them.
Yeah, it's really cool how he does that, and I think he's gotten burned a few times because he just wants to help, crowdfunded books, especially those on Indiegogo, and kind of stick it to DC and Marvel in particular. So, yeah, he'll unless he thinks it's garbage, he will, be kind and try to help you get it going. And he's definitely the number one guy on the crowdfunding world. So, you get backing from him or a big time push, you're going to increase your numbers. That's just how it is. So,
That's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
So, Ref, you have something on your mind
Ref is
tonight?
here.
What's going on?
Ref is going to give us a tutelage on some books.
Yeah, guys, I have really been. Now, I just read one of the spin-off. In comics lingo, a lot of times we get started in a series, and there's multiple superheroes in it, and then we have spin-offs. I think that's one of my favorite things. I like to see the character development that goes, and I think Jeff Lemire has done an amazing job with his Dark Horse Comics series of the Black Hammer. And, he's got so many different characters. Yeah, this is one of the newest issues. He has this Black Hammer's vision. I just got done reading Skull Digger and Skeleton Boy, and again, if you like a little bit of superhero with a whole bunch of flair of character development, this is really good. Not to spoil anything from Skull Digger and Skeleton Boy, but you get the idea of where these characters have come from, because it is kind of laid out like the Avengers stuff. These older characters developed, or as a team with like the JSA back in the 40s, and their development until now. And I just think, man, it is, if you like those JSA books, if you like, yeah, that Skull Digger, I mean, and his development, he's kind of cool. He's got a little chain with it's kind of like that. It makes it look like there's a real skull, but it's actually like a gold or a brass skull that he just pounds the hell out of his his foe, and he's kind of like a Punisher type. So I just
I was
like
going to
seeing
ask
these.
you what kind of
Yeah, he's a Punisher type. But
yeah.
again, that's why
Okay.
Jeff Lemire is so amazing in my viewpoint is because he has the ability to make its own spin. He was part of the neighbor, part of that old unit with Abraham and Barbalian and all those type of things, and he got jaded through the years, and it shows, and it kind of throws a little flair in there too of Skeleton Boy and how he decides whether he wants to continue to go the Punisher route or if he just wants to walk away from it. So there's also some human morality elements in there too, which is cool. I mean, anybody thriving off of a good moral development story, like we did back in the days when we had those home improvement episodes where we learned that good moralistic thing and stuff like that. So I just like, yes, I love the Black Hammer. Anytime Ace and I get a book from Black Hammer, like, it's consumed immediately. They've just, Dr. Spectre, Barbalian. I mean, and they have a taste for everybody. They have a taste right now. Barbalian is, thanks, Sam. Barbalian was kind of had its own little side story. If anybody knows, Barbalian's kind of like your Martian Manhunter of the days, and it had its side social justice type thing, which usually isn't appealing to me, but it was, I thought, was well done enough that I wasn't, feeling like that was the entirety of the storyline.
I think was
Jeff Lemire is a really great writer, so
Yeah.
so give me
He's
some
Canadian.
stuff that he's done before. What has he done before that I would know?
Well, he's really popular for his Animal Man run during was that the New 52, Ace?
The New 52 Animal Man. Yeah,
Top
for me and my money for Jeff Lemire, man, the Animal Man, whew, that's so good, so good. It's a crime that is not an HBO Max TV show. It is ripe with horror and suspense and action.
And that's where Jeff Lemire made his name, just like Scott Steiner made his name on Swamp Thing on the other end, and they kind of converged. Yeah, so it's
there it is. Yeah.
This is one of those books where I'd say, like, even though the art is unique, it still is something that I mean Ace and I still do backflips about today.
I think what's hard for me is, like, I have a background in comics, but not near what you all do. So when I'm trying to actually broaden my horizons in both DC and Marvel, and now I'm getting thrown to like this stuff and Indiegogo stuff, I'm like, holy crap, my mind is overwhelmed and it's just too much.
It's easy to be.
Yeah. Well, I think, go read that one first. If we were going to say, hey, Ref's bringing a great book that's not as well known, but is getting a lot of steam and popularity, and you want to read something from the writer, the creator, start with that book and get a feel for Jeff Lemire, and then move your way over to a universe that's pretty new.
Well, one great thing that I just did tonight, and you already know that I did Marvel Unlimited. I just went ahead and did the DC Infinite. And so I'm sure this book is on there, and I'll be able to read that book on there.
Sure.
I hope people don't just crucify me because I'm not supporting my local comic book store, but honestly, we don't really have one. I mean, we don't.
I ordered mine from New York.
We don't have one, not in our area.
No. Yeah. I ordered mine from New York. You're welcome, New York. You're welcome, Cuomo.
There's nowhere. We don't have the. How I miss that smell of stinky feet in McDonald's. It's such a good smell to walk into and get your comics.
So Sam's telling me to read Swamp Thing, and I'm sure you both agree to that too.
Yeah, and Alan Moore's run is phenomenal. I mean, you can't go wrong. But I mean, if you want a new rendition of it, Scott Snyder's is amazing too. So.
I'll tell you real quick what's becoming one of my favorite characters, and I didn't really know it until now, is Moon Knight. I've been reading some comics on Moon Knight on the digital copies, and I'm really enjoying it.
Real quick about Moon Knight, and I want to ask Ref more questions about Black Hammer, but Thinking Critical Wes, he reviews a lot of books, and lately they seem to have all sucked. And I really trust his reviews. He gave Moon Knight #1, which came out today, the new one, which has an amazing Steve McNiven cover. Holy gosh, it's amazing. He gave it a really good review and says it's a great start, great art. Introduces a brand new villain that should be a fan favorite that has an appealing look. So he gave it a high mark, and that's pretty great coming from Marvel right now. So that has me excited as a fan of Moon Knight.
So do you get that? Do you get that, or do you wait until it's at least a graphic novel or an omnibus?
Well,
you don't get the floppy of it right now, do you?
Trades.
But if we're excited about something, we get issue #1.
Yeah. We'll do that if we're traveling somewhere and hit a comic store, or Ref sometimes orders a few, like 5 to 10 single issues of something that he thinks looks good, and give it a shot. Like, I've tried to actually get hard copies of Geiger from Jeff Johns, and this might be a book I'd love to get that Steve McNiven cover. So, but normally I'll still wait for the trade for the whole story. That's just me, though.
Who's the you know, I should know this, but who's the creative team on the most recent Moon Knight?
Oh, see, yeah, I don't know either. I don't know who's writing it. I guess I haven't paid attention lately to that. I didn't have a lot of hopes for it until I heard that review, and I'm like, oh, well, maybe I need to check this out.
So it just got released, correct?
I think it's today.
Yes.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, so here it is on Midtown
John
Comics.
Romita.
Oh, look at that. Your favorite artist.
Written
John
by Jed
Jr.
McKay.
So
Oh.
Jed McKay is.
Jed McKay. It's written by and Cappuccino. Is it
Cappuccino?
what? It looks like
I
Cappuccino.
love me some. I love me some cappuccino, vanilla cappuccino.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But-
where's
So
that
this
like
is
it
volume
Jeff-
9, number 1.
But speaking of Jeff Lemire, he had a good run on Moon Knight too.
He
Am I thinking?
did
am I
he or
thinking
what?
wrong?
Or did we like the Warren Ellis? I think it was Warren Ellis. 'Cause
Warren Ellis,
is the one
sure,
that introduced.
sure.
He introduced the whole suit and tie
Suit.
thing. I think we were disappointed in Jeff Lemire's run, if I remember, because it was kind of like, damn, this sucked. We thought it'd be good from him.
See, I just
Yeah,
want
Steve
a
McNiven is fire.
He's fabulous.
Sam is a witness right now. If you all have understood that Ref and Ace talk about, yeah, we buy books together, and poor old Coach has to figure out a way to buy books on his own and become poor, is basically what I'm hearing. Yeah, I'm on my own.
It's
I think
called
that
tough
sucks,
love.
Sam. I think that sucks bad. But, you know, I just got to do what I got to do.
Yeah, out there in the cold, man. What Venom
I'm just
say
glad
about
to
turd
see-
in the wind?
I'm just glad to see Coach getting some action figures and you know some
Ooh.
fellas to join. I was glad to see Arcade join your facility. So
You can keep
Yeah, that
talking.
was
I'm trying to
cool.
get it so
I
that
was gonna say, did you kick me out?
Up.
I was like, man,
Don't do it.
I was complimenting you. I swear I didn't say anything.
Oh Lord, I've got a hell of a drag, guys. Oh God.
Oh, there it is.
Yeah, baby.
Nice.
I think it's really cool, and I
Daddy
mean, I
like
know a lot of people don't have that kind of stuff, or you know, he's not one that very many people hear of. And the only reason I think I got onto him was just being drawn towards him because of the Joker. You know, it reminded me a little bit of the Joker is probably why.
Mhm.
I like Arcade. He was always
get your
he
infinity
felt
form.
dangerous as a kid. Like he felt like, oh, this guy's really psychotic. I mean, I guess he is kind of a low man's Joker, but he's still really cool.
Well,
I mean,
one of my favorites
He's
of
lasted this long.
one of my favorites of the Flash villains is the Trickster, and I mean him and Arcade are kind of similar in that way,
Yeah.
you know. So
Yeah.
I agree.
We can
I
talk
like
a
to
little
take
more about
cheaper
Black
villains
Hammer.
and-
Mhm.
Hey, I got
Yeah.
a question for Ref then about Black Hammer. So, I've read Volume 1, which is excellent. So, and you know, we've ordered everything that's come out. It seems like a lot of books have come out. So, do you know kind of how many have come out so far? Like, how many volumes do we have, and how many spin-offs are you do you kind of know what we're at looking at?
Yeah. Let me. I just for reference, I want to make sure I get it right. So I'm gonna look up Wikipedia. You know, our quick go-to here.
Yeah.
But I think there's been at least 4 or 5 main Black Hammer books without the spin-offs, and then there's been,
Okay.
you know, they did a Black Hammer 45, which the art was complete garbage, but the storyline obviously was stellar. Now the one the Coach has been showing there is the Black Hammer visions, which are just kind of like one-offs of different characters, and which is cool. It kind of reminds me of, I don't know, like Astro City type thing. Like they're throwing all these one shots of these small characters, but do notice though that they're not all written by Jeff Lemire. I mean, Colin Bunn's good, so they're usually pretty good authors. So I think there's been at least 5 or 6
Okay. It feels like they were coming out
spin-offs.
hard and fast.
Yes, and there's, I mean, if you look at previews anytime, there's been, several. So, so we had, come on, we had the original Black Hammer. Then we had, there was Volume 1, Volume 2. Then they had the 2-part series Age of Doom, which is really, really cool. Then they had Reborn. Let me see. I want to make sure. Okay, so they had Sherlock Frankenstein, which was a creative character. Sherlock Frankenstein was kind of like their Thanos.
Is he Black Hammer? Is he part of Black
Yeah.
Hammer?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yes, and he falls in love with. Actually, it's funny. Hey, Sam, I'm can't. I'm blushing, man. Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay.
You're getting the fuzzy feel. Hey, do you two need to get a room?
Hey, what's this do? Because this is the next one coming out on Black Hammer.
Yeah, that's
I know him.
Captain. Yeah, what's it? You would Captain.
What is it, Cosmonaut or
Colonel Weird? Sorry,
Colonel Weird. That's it.
And it's actually he's one of those characters in the main storyline. You're like, what the actual F is the purpose of this character? And then you read his 4-issue miniseries, and you're like, makes sense.
Okay.
Kind of reminds me of that Starlight by Mark Millar. Kind of a shot in the future type of superhero. So we're kind of stuck in the timeline type of superhero.
I'm gonna sound like a real ass for a second. It's not even about the money. About the money on if I was trying to get all these and all that kind of stuff. How do you all have the freaking time to read all of this stuff that you're reading?
You don't.
Well, it's called having a stack to the ceiling 3 times over that you haven't read.
Like
I can't
like
even fit them in the closet anymore. They're over on my floor.
Oh, that makes me sad.
What I'm saying is, like, if Moon Knight is as good as what you're saying, and really, if I should probably go out and get this for volume number 1 if it's introducing a new villain, and it's going to be also, coming up in the Disney Plus. I don't know where to start.
Yeah.
It's so confusing but exciting at the same time. I want to get it, but I can't get everything and then be able to wrap my head around any of it.
Well, it's a long problem for anyone that's ever came to me to say, hey, where do I start? They're like, 80 plus years of comic lore and storylines. Where do you start? I mean, they're not easy to jump into. You're like, oh, I really like Harry Potter. Where do I start? Well, book 1 and read all 7 books. Done. Or Sherlock
Ace's
Holmes,
go-to.
or Tarzan.
Ace's go-to is Crisis on Infinite Earths.
And Supreme, or I have it down here. Squadron Supreme.
Read it now.
I haven't read that one.
I've
read the Crisis.
I read it
but I haven't
every
read that
year,
one.
like clockwork. Great.
So we're going on vacation, and I told my wife, I said, hey, there's a comic book store close to where we're staying. She was like, no, hell no.
Mm-hmm.
But Jersey and I might sneak off.
You need to go experience comic book store.
Like it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've been pretty impressed the last few I've been into. Mostly smelled clean. Instead of the dirty feet, BO meets McDonald's and KFC. It's a really unique smell, and I'm hoping Bath and Body captures it for some candles someday. I think they'd really.
That's pretty good.
They'd really hit it out of the park.
So, okay.
What?
Oh.
And you don't have to say where we're located. Go ahead.
Oh no, I think that's the part of the part of the issue around our area in the Midwest. We're located in the Midwest, but I think that's part of the problem is a lot of the shops that
Goodbye,
open that
Sam.
sell.
Goodbye.
Oh no,
So
Sam! Good
long.
knowing you, bro. I was blushing. We're about to go out on a date,
It was-
and then
you
you
were-
just
it was
squashed
good-
me,
hey.
man.
All good things must end.
It's true. A lot of the places we have had around here have always been like places to go play Magic or D&D and
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
just have a couple racks of comics. They've never been solely comic stores. So
They're more into Pokemon and now the little figures,
Mhm.
and that's it.
HeroClix.
That's all we get. So that's my question. Without saying where we're located, and it won't give us away, but where is, in your opinion, the best comic book store around us?
Around.
And I'm
Get in
go
your
100
car.
miles. Go 100 miles if you need to.
There's some good
Well,
ones
I
in
mean-
Springfield, Illinois. That's where I've been there.
Oh,
There's been a couple
Springfield
good
does?
ones. There's one good
There's
one in Jeff City.
St. Louis.
hmm
Oh yeah, that one's really good in Jeff City, right by the Capitol building. Actually, isn't it, Ref? Like, I think if
Yeah.
you were working at
Mhm.
the Capitol building, you can walk to it.
Walk to it. Yeah, I think it's downtownish.
Yeah.
I think
So,
there's
Yeah,
a
tons of back
Saturday.
issues, tons of back issues.
I think there's a Saturday this fall that we should all just make a road trip to St. Louis
That'd
and
be
go to
fun.
a couple stores.
That'd be fun.
There's also something called a convention in Kansas City.
I can't do it. I would love to do it.
Now I'm missing football games for
That's
this.
what we call happy time.
Mhm.
That's what
Yeah.
we call happy time.
I'm announcing football games. I can't really not announce.
I don't
It's
want to
a
hear that shit.
jamboree, man.
Go.
It's a jamboree.
When it's in 2 weeks? Is it 3 weeks?
It's a
When's the Kansas City
20th.
Comic Con?
20th.
August 21st.
So it's a
week-
month.
It's literally the weekend before school starts for us.
Okay. Sorry. I don't think I can hack it. I should.
Yeah,
But-
well,
I'm also in the middle of building right now.
Well,
yeah, it sucks.
Yeah.
sounds like
Hey,
a
there's
complex
priorities.
problem.
What's more important,
That's right.
family, your job, your home, or comics? Let's be real here.
Well, don't make me pick that. So anyway, are we done with Black Hammer? You want to talk a little bit more?
No, guys, I think that's probably pretty much it. I mean, if you want to, Amazon's doing a better job at classifying like series of books and stuff like that. So go to Amazon. You know, this is not my plug for Bezos, but go pick up some of those volumes. Coach, I think we'll find in the
Bezos?
kindness of our heart. In the flying
penis?
penis.
Astronaut? Yeah.
Flying
Yep.
ding.
I mean, Amazon does everything. Let's be honest. Sam says, "I live in the town that
It's
Donnie
true.
Kate
Yeah.
is it Kate's lives in, and there is not
Uh-huh.
one comic
Preach.
book store in there."
Preach, brother.
Well,
Yeah,
I don't
Donnie
think
Cates
it's.
can eat
It's
a
getting
fart.
rough for him out there. I mean, they've got a. Yeah. Donnie Cates.
I mean,
Eating a
I
fart.
don't.
Yeah, I agree.
I really
He's
don't
a good
think
writer,
there's.
but he's kind of a d-bag. I didn't say
There's a-
that. No,
He ain't coming
fuck
on our
me.
show. Don't worry about that. Don't worry about that.
No, that's right. He's an amazing person.
So let's segue to this crazy thing that got out today about reviews about.
Are we going to another topic? Ref, are you sticking around for this, or you got to go?
I that out. I told the boys I'd come give them a good old smooching. Sorry, I was a little bit late. I had to throw them hooligans in their bed, and I'm gonna go give them a little smoochy.
Whip him into shape.
Yeah.
All right, man.
Thanks for having me.
Hey,
and,
Look how good he
Alrighty.
was tonight. Give a hand to Ref.
Sam, yeah. Hey.
Yeah.
I'm gonna find my A game and I'm gonna stick to it.
Let's see those.
So.
Let's see those hearts in our whatever hearts.
Can you do hearts? I don't know if we do hearts in this.
I don't know. I don't know. I always saw that though on TikTok, or not TikToks, but whatever.
Yeah.
I'll try to stay in the comment section if anybody's got any good, better, ugly things to say. Okay.
All right.
All
Sounds
right.
good.
All right.
Sounds
See you guys.
Good.
See ya.
See you,
Bye.
Ref.
All right. So he did do claps. It's war chants, but it looks like claps to me. Anyway.
Gotcha. All right.
So the next segment, and I don't know how long we'll spend on this, but
Well,
it's sounding worse and worse.
yeah.
You
Sam,
can-
are you
can
still
talk-
with us? We know you're a big E-Man fan.
He is.
This is doesn't sound good. It does not sound good for our love of He-Man. So, and excuse me, Coach. I don't know if hey, there he is. Who did the art on that? Oh, it looks almost like Liefeld. But so today it looks like the embargo lifted on early critical reactions to the He-Man Masters of the Universe show on Netflix. And I think as we talked before on the show, and as you can see on social media right now, there's a controversy with word getting out early that Teela was going to be the star of the show, that she was implied to be in a lesbian relationship. He-Man's looked to be made like a fool or a cuck of the show. He denied it emphatically, said this is bogus. He-Man's the star. This is an amazing continuation of the cartoon and the property. Well, it turns out sites like Clownfish and maybe a couple others that I can't think of had called this and just brought it to everyone's attention. Say, hey, word is this is what the show's going to be like. We don't know if it's true, but that's what our inside sources are saying.
Yeah.
Kevin Smith made a spectacle of it, basically attacked him. And looks like they may have, since we haven't seen it yet, some validation. So yeah, there you go. Kevin Smith debunks rumors, denied it all, said, okay. So what does he say here, Coach? He says,
says
the
that
showrunner really could have used these story suggestions before we locked the scripts. However, no, He-Man is no stepping aside, and Teela has no girlfriend in our show. Interesting.
I think we're finding out different. And I'll tell you, the one that really throws me a little bit that I think would be more behind it than what she sounded is Grace. Grace didn't like it at all.
No. I'm rather surprised by that because whatever anyone feels about whatever social agenda, she is very pro LGBTQ, almost to the point of like, okay, like you sound a little like you're overdoing it, but whatever. So yeah, she basically said this wasn't good in no uncertain terms, and said basically, if there had been a real group of fans in the writing room, they all would have said, don't do this. This is not good.
That's what threw me off when she said that. She was like, if anybody that knew He-Man was sitting in there, they would all be saying right away, don't do this.
Yeah. So, I think he has made such a spectacle of it and denied it so emphatically that he's going to have egg on his face. And she had a show that she was reviewing. I don't know what it was she was doing, but she had mentioned, hey, in a few days, He-Man's going to come out and Kevin Smith's going to really wish he wasn't on social media or something to that effect. And she knew that, what he said was bald-faced lies, and the show is exactly what everyone thought it was going to be. So,
and this frustrates me a lot because I hate to sound like this. I like Kevin Smith. I enjoy his show, Fat Man and Beyond or whatever it is called. And
Yeah.
he's nice and easy going, but it just seems like this is sort of in your face, and I'm going to make this as bad as I possibly can, and I'm changing everything, and you're all going to like it. And in the long run, I really don't give a shit if you do like it.
No, he doesn't care because he's not a fan. So that's lie number one. I mean, that's a bald-faced lie. He says he's this huge He-Man fan. He's not. By his own words, through a Twitter, and I wish we could have talked earlier. We could have pulled up the video snippet from Comic Book Men where Ming Chen is saying, oh, oh, He-Man was never my thing. And then Kevin sitting right beside him goes, oh, yeah, I never really cared about He-Man either. In his own words, he's saying, I didn't give a shit about He-Man. But guess what? I'm going to make this property and act like I'm the biggest fan ever. And this is going to be all for the fans. No,
I might have found it. Let's
wrong.
see if I found it.
You're gaslighting us. Yeah, okay. Yep, that's it.
I have no love for He-Man either, but he's got a place in the world in a comic book store. You can't make fun of somebody else's interest. You're like, He-Man's stupid. I like Batman. What's the diff? What kind of clerk is rude to customers?
I have no love for He-Man.
So, I mean, that's so blatant. I mean, where do you go for that?
That's a smoking gun. That's what they call a smoking gun. Come on.
And then this tweet right here. I wasn't a He-Man fan, but Gallery 1988 is running an awesome Master of the Universe art show. Look.
Okay, there he is again. I wasn't a He-Man fan. So guess what? He doesn't care. He doesn't care. He's gonna incorporate some of the cool thing. He wants to see a cool female do whatever, or become empowered, and let's not have this bulky white wrestling looking dude be the star, blonde hair. We don't want to see that. We're going to subvert. And he said this, and we need to take notice as fans whenever we hear a creator say, we're going to subvert your expectations, then we know it's going to be absolute shit, because they're going to take everything you love or want to see from that property and flip it. And, oh, it's going to be so different and new and whatever. And then, so when that happens, expect seeing Jake Skywalker drinking green milk from some alien's teat.
And then he goes around and says this, and this is what ticks me off too. Everything I've worked for in like 27 years, this is easily the top 5 of my favorite, most satisfying projects, says Smith, He-Man superfan who showruns Revelation, executive produces Mattel Television. Exactly. He killed it. He killed He-Man. So is that why it's his most satisfying top 5?
Yeah, you'd love to, like, what was your real motivation for taking this property? Like, what did you really want to do? What appealed to you about doing it? Was it just money? Did they offer you a truckload of money and you're like, oh, okay. Maybe that was it. Did you have an agenda with this? I mean, whatever you did, it's like, why couldn't you have just stayed away or done something you really wanted to do?
But I'm going to say this real quick.
As hell doesn't sound like this is going to be He-Man.
Sam says, yeah, he's lying, but don't for a second believe what Grace says.
You're right.
I agree, but there's way more people saying the exact same thing that what Grace is saying right now. Like, I haven't heard one good review or positive anything.
I guess I think Coach and I's perspective on Grace is, yeah, she's mostly kind of full of crap and really has weird hot takes on things that are really aggravating to a lot of people. But I would have bet hard money she would have been all in on this aspect of He-Man. Like, this was amazing. Teela's the star. It's LGBTQ and it's amazing. But she didn't.
Yeah, that's what shocked me completely.
Yeah, I'm like, whoa. So I don't know. This is kind of a red flag for me that even she was like, yeah, this sucks.
And I feel that Kevin Smith is I don't know if I am saying this for sure, but this is what I feel like he's going for. And it's like comedy for him. Like he wants it to be this and he thinks it's funny.
I could see that. Like even she said, after actually having watched it, that it's never stated that Tila and her friend, she's another warrior character I'm not familiar with. It's implied they're a couple. I mean, it looks like they're a couple, but they never actually say they're a couple or never, do anything to say, oh yeah, they're definitely, together. But it's heavily implied, and you're like, okay, we know what you're going for. And
I feel
it's become a cliche too for the whole haircut. Like, oh look, Tila's buffed up and she's practically a man, and now she's shaved half her head, and it's like, oh, okay, so could we be any more cliche? So, oh, did you show Kevin Smith there crying like he always does?
Well, I showed his little smirk, and I just think this is the smirk that he's giving everybody right now. He's just like, huh,
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's kind of funny, and I don't always listen to Clownfish, and I don't always share their opinions, but they do some good stuff, and they've got quite a little following now, like over 200,000. But boy, Geeky Sparkles really was fired up and let Kevin Smith have it. I mean, called him everything but a what, and I think they were they were personally attacked by him, and it turns out they were right. I mean, it was like, hey, we have a source that told us this is what the show's going to be, and it sounds like it's 100% accurate. And
so will Kevin Smith not give a fleeping frack that people are mad and they caught him? He legitimately lied. They caught him in the middle of the lie. Will he not care at all and still go on social media, still do his little stream that he does? Or is he going to be like, yeah, they can come after me now because legitimately they were 100% right?
No, he will not. He will not do the latter at all. Now, here's what we got to look for. Are the streams and the interest going to is this show going to be a hit? Because we don't know. So if it's a hit, and I predict, and I haven't checked Rotten Tomatoes, that the reviews are going to be stellar. They're going to be like, this is amazing, what they did, and progressive, and so awesome, and Tila's a star, blah, 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 blah. They're going to praise it up one side, down the other. That's my prediction. I might be wrong. So, critics, if it's a win there, which it probably will be, and then B, we got to see, will the fans actually show up and will they support it? And will it, to be fair, after watching it, be really good? I don't have a lot of hope these days in most of these kind of properties because of the state of Hollywood right now, but I'd love to be pleasantly surprised.
I don't think it's up yet on Rotten Tomatoes.
Okay, so they don't have any reviews posted yet, but
I don't see anything.
I think it'll end up in the 90s. Yeah, it'll be, oh my gosh, this is,
wait,
real geek sites.
Huh, here you go.
Oh, 95%. Well, okay, to be fair, there's only 20 reviews so far, but still, there you go. That's a good indication of where you're going to be.
95%. Okay, this is what it comes down to, and I always go to sports because that is my bread and butter. Background is sports, and what always ticked me off about the Hall of Fame votes in baseball is somebody like Ken Griffey Jr. or Greg Maddux or some great, all-time ball player doesn't get 100% of the vote. Who is the jackass that isn't voting for somebody like that? When do you have to look at who is the critic ratings, who's doing them, and what is their agenda on why they're doing them?
It's all
you have to
game.
be. It has to be unbiased. If I am a reporter and I'm voting for a Hall of Famer, and let's say Ken Griffey Jr. treated me like dog crap, I still have to be a professional and look at it in an unbiased way and vote that way, not how I personally was treated.
Yeah, I mean, human beings won't do that though. It's like you in sports. I'll go along with the Hall of Fame and the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. It's like it's so political and it's all agenda based. How the hell do you put in the freaking Foo Fighters, which I actually like, and you have not put in Judas Priest and Iron Maiden? It's literally immoral. I mean, it's like you can't call yourself the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. And for years they wouldn't put Alice Cooper in. For years they refused to put Kiss in. And finally, I mean, they had to cave and put him in, but they hated it every step of the way. You know, how has Motley Crue never been even nominated? It's wrong. So, you know, I know we're getting a little off topic, but just like your example of for baseball and for mine rock, it's like it's all political and it's all, you know, agenda biased. They don't do what they're supposed to do.
You do know that Grace contributes to Rotten Tomatoes.
Oh yeah, yeah. I know she's one of the
So
reviews, but yeah, hey, it's early. There's only 20 reviews. There's going to be probably over 100 by the time it's done. So,
but if you go here, it says 19 rated fresh, 1 rated rotten out of the 20 that's out. So could that have been her right there on the rotten? I mean, I doubt it was,
well,
but could it have been?
Rotten Tomatoes? Yeah, possibly. Yeah, I mean, Rotten Tomatoes has a weird. It's like you can read the article, and it sounds rotten, and then the reviewer actually clicked it or gave the number that makes it fresh. So sometimes it's funny how that works.
Wow. We're gonna have to start reading comics and doing our own review on each one. I'm kidding. We don't have time for that.
Yeah, I'd love to. I mean, there's occasion that I'll read one and it's like that I have time for. I've been working on one trade for like 2 weeks on a Batman trade, and I'm like, I can't ever get time to read this stupid thing. So
if it wasn't Batman, I bet you'd have it read by now. If it was Superman.
Well, then I order a book and try to think I can read a book with a comic, and that's just the dumbest thing ever. So,
and now I did finish this weekend the Batman Who Laughs, and I did enjoy it. It was a way different, but I did enjoy it.
Yeah, I mean, Coach, I'm so behind. It's all like, you know, yeah, I know a lot of stuff, but I've gotten so behind the last few years. I'm probably like a year behind of anything coming out now. Like I have a year's worth of books that I am trying to catch up on that I'll never catch up on, but you know, so there's even some new characters I may not even be familiar with because I haven't actually got to read it yet.
Yeah. So then we're going off the subject, and I think we're sort of done with He-Man. But then why does that interest you more with what you've heard about Moon Knight? And because I know you're not like a collector for thinking of value on comics. You're more of a collector because you love reading them. But I heard you say that it's introducing a new villain and you would want to get that first one.
Yeah, I think that would be cool to get. Like, oh, I've already forgot his name. There was a really visually cool character for Batman that came at Ghost Whisperer or something like that. I made sure to get that issue with him. I thought he might take off.
So you do sometimes look at that.
Again, oh yeah, occasionally I do. I used to not look at it because I bought everything. So I was like, well, yeah, I have it, so I'm not really looking for the value because I know I have that issue. Oh, there it is, Steve McNiven right there. Woo, it's beautiful. I want a poster of that. That's just amazing.
Who did you say?
So yeah, I think this would be a good book.
Who did you say?
Steve McNiven.
It says McKay, Capucci, or whatever in Rosenberg. Oh, but down here, I see what you're saying. Steve down here it says McNiven.
Yeah. He just did the cover. He didn't do the interior art. No.
Okay.
But boy, he's a great artist.
And then you're saying
So,
though that this first
I wish
comic
he'd do more stuff.
you're hearing that this first comic introduced a new villain.
Uh-oh.
Are you there?
Say? No, I think I cut out for a second.
I said, can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay. So you said the new Moon Knight number 1, it is introducing a new villain from what you've heard.
It is. Yeah. It is. And it sounds compelling. From what Wes, and I'm going off Wes.
Wes is
Thinking
amazing.
Criticals.
Sam, if you
He's
haven't
probably-
seen Wes of Thinking Critical, you got to get on his stuff right now. He's awesome.
Yeah, he's pretty much the one that I go to almost daily and put on if I have at lunch or something. I try to squeeze in some of the Comic Skate guys and other random people now and then, but I really enjoy Wes and his critiques. He's very, very fair. You know, yeah, you might think he leans curmudgeon, but not really. I mean, he's not Comic Skate. He's very critical of them at times as well. Just a really good reviewer. So when he gives a positive review of a DC or current Marvel book, I do take notice of that because I feel like, you know, I tend to agree with his opinions a lot, or I feel like, yeah, that's kind of how I feel, or yeah, I read that and felt the same way. So if he's giving that a positive review, maybe I won't agree, but I'm definitely going to check out that book.
Okay.
And it's Moon Knight, so I'm excited to hear it's a good Moon Knight. He's one of my favorites. I love Moon Knight.
How does he get the books where he lives?
In the Philippines? That's great. I don't know. Maybe he's just reading them digitally.
Yeah, but what can he read them digitally from? They get the first one this early is what I mean.
Well, I'm sure you can get Comixology, right? And then you just purchase it on Comixology. It's out today to purchase digitally. So
that's what he's doing. Then has to be.
Yeah. I mean, I've sampled a few books here and there like that. I'm like, well, I know it's $4, but I'm gonna go ahead and buy it digitally because I wanna read it. I've done a few books like that. Just because I really want to read that first issue before the trade comes out. So occasionally I'll do that.
So is this, then I'm guessing that this is already in the comic book stores.
Yeah, that one came out today. A hard copy's in the stores today. If we had a store, I actually would have called and said, hey, you know, I want that Steve McNiven cover. I just really like that cover.
I'm gonna look at something real quick.
You might want to look up the Ken. His name's Ken Lashley. He also did a cover for this. Wes was reviewing it, and ooh, it's really good too.
You know, G.I. Joel that we follow, and I know Sam does too on TikTok. He has his own comic book store.
I like him already.
And he has it. He's trying to do one, and he does it, I think, mainly online kind of stuff. And he has Moon Knight right now for $4.99.
Yeah, I mean, you know, who knows if this book will even take off? You know, and Marvel's being strategic about relaunching a new book with his Disney Plus show coming early next year.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, I'll just be really glad if yeah, I mean, I'd like to get a copy of it, especially again, if a guy like Wes is saying it's a good representation of Moon Knight, then I'm gonna take notice. So, because that's just not something Marvel's doing right now, getting their characters accurate and depicting them well. So, it's an anomaly.
Sam likes G.I. Joel. I think he's good, and he's really pushing right now to make content, which is cool. So it is tempting.
Oh, thanks, Sam. Yeah.
It is tempting to go ahead and buy it from him just to support him, but I don't know how that works, honestly.
I'd have to look into that as well. Yeah.
He says he only has 4 left in stock.
Again, a couple times. Oof. Really does suck not having a comic shop like nearby anymore. It really blows. I gotta say. Ugh. Such
But
a pain in the butt.
even if we wanted to try to do something like that, there is not enough. There's no clientele. I mean, there just isn't.
Oh, are you talking about running a store?
Yeah, there's no
I've
clientele.
dreamed of it for years. It's a fool's errand. It's a pipe dream.
I think the only way you could do it
I
is
mean-
exactly how this G.I. Joel is doing it, and he's trying to do it all online.
Yeah, I mean you couldn't have any overhead. You're never gonna make money. You'd only be doing it because you love to do it. And maybe you break even and make a tiny $10 profit. I mean, I'm dead serious. I know a guy that I bought comics from him for years here locally, and I think one time he said he like made $20 a month, like netted a profit of like $20 a month. Like, what? So why do you do this? You don't. Well, you love doing it. Well, he went out of business eventually, but I mean, he did it while he could. So
I don't know what Joel is saying. Yes, there is. Our Walmart around here is out of everything comic based. Yeah, but I mean, they're only out of it because they're not getting much of it. They don't want it. I mean, that's why they're out of it. They don't want to hold any back stock.
yeah, I mean, Walmart, they're not even getting those. They're just getting those like packaged 3 or 4 issues stuck together that are just random. It was cool though when DC was just making Walmart only books. I was getting those. I still have those. I thought that was fun. That was kind of fun to go into Walmart like, ooh, they got the new giant size Superman today or Wonder Woman or whatever. That was fun while it lasted. But then COVID hit and that was the end of that. So
Yeah. I would be so tempted
well, the
to get.
speculator market is big right now. You know, I joke with my wife. I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't wait for you to retire and go down in this basement here and start going through my books. And we start liquidating mass amounts of comics. And I organize books to where I actually can find them and like
Yeah.
read them again. I don't know. There's been a couple of times that I've wanted a book to read so bad that I bought it again. It's like, I know I have it. It's somewhere in some pile of tubs. And it's here in this home, but it'd take me 2 days to find it. I'm just going to order it for $5 on Amazon and read it again. So that's terrible, but I've done it.
That's funny as hell though, too.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, that app that I was telling you about sounds exactly what you need. Because all it is you have to, all you do is scan it, scan the barcode. It knows what it is. It puts, you can say it's in your collection and it organizes your collection on digitally. And I think it will even tell you value of where it's going up and down.
Yeah. Oh gosh, I wish I had that app at the beginning of the summer. I could have said, "Dear, you got a great summer job until school starts again. Go down and have some fun."
Hats off to your wife, because I know what my wife would say to that.
Well, yeah, but I would say, guess what? We'll know how much money we have, and won't that excite you? Then she might want to do it.
Look who it
Oh,
is.
there he is.
I think Greg's mad at me.
How was the draft?
I think Greg's mad at me.
Draft tonight. Oh, he is. Oh no, that's not good.
I think it was him that said something about my top 10 Marvel superheroes, and I didn't even put Iron Man even in my honorable mention.
Oh yeah, he's holding a grudge still over that. Yeah.
It's because he's the Iron Man fan, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
He's also a White Sox fan, so I don't know. I don't know.
I mean,
I don't know how I feel about that.
okay, he's
Hey, I don't know. I'm. Uh-oh, what's Mr. Kane?
he says he's going to become a Seattle fan, and yes, Jeff, we need to talk about the top 10. I mean, I don't think we do. You can make your own top 10. Iron Man's just not in mine. I'm sorry. He's just not. There's so many other. Where would he go? I mean, I do like. You have an argument with Black Widow. Thor only made my honorable mention. I love Wolverine.
This is
Spider-Man.
your personal list, right?
This is me. This
Guess
is what
who's
I
not-
like.
Yeah, guess who's? Yeah. Guess who's not in my top 10 Marvel heroes?
Spider-Man.
Spider-Man.
Okay, give me your list.
Not
then.
even in my top 10.
Let's hear your list real quick. Top 10 off the top of your head. Come on. We gotta. I know.
For Marvel?
Yep.
All right, I'll have
Nova's
to go.
gonna be up there.
Oh yeah, Captain America easily number 1. No, that's an easy one. Then, it's crazy, but yeah, Nova's probably number 2. Then Captain Marvel number 3. Then we'll get a little better well known with Iron Fist. Then probably I don't know, Thor, and then Iron Man. Because I mean, I loved Iron Man back in the day. I really loved Iron Man. Who else we got that would be good? I'm just trying to think of everyone.
You're not saying Wolverine, Punisher.
No, Punisher, not even close. Wolverine, probably my number 10. Depends on how he's written. And I actually prefer Wolverine in a costume. I get tired of him without his costume. It's like, I don't know. Yeah, I'll tell you, I used to love Carol Danvers when she was Ms. Marvel. Oh shit! What am I talking about? Moon Knight for sure. Easily.
He's
top
not in
10.
my honorable mention
know.
yet, but man, he's getting there. 100%.
Yeah, I've been fascinated by him since I was a kid. Yeah, I was like, oof, Moon Knight was. Honorable mentions for me would definitely be like Luke Cage. Oh, I love Luke Cage. Those old Power Man comics. I got excited when I saw those as a kid. They had these outlandish villains, and it was the whole blaxploitation era. But I really liked that comic.
Hawkeye?
Cyclops is my favorite X-Man. Yeah, Hawkeye used to be way, way up there for me, but he slipped so far down the last few years. It's like he's not the same character, so I just don't enjoy him at all anymore.
What about Daredevil?
Daredevil's up there. I'm not sure he's in my top 10. Depends on how many people I've already listed.
And then Deadpool, I'm guessing you don't like at all.
Nah. Oh, I like everybody, but he's not in my top 10.
Doctor Strange.
Who?
Doctor
Ooh,
Strange.
Yes. Yeah. He might make my top 10. Yeah, I love Doctor Strange. The Thing. He's one of my favorites. Ben Grimm. I love The Thing. Ooh,
What
yeah.
about this? What about Sentry?
He'd be an honorable mention. Look up a character called Stingray if you're not familiar with him, Coach. He's an honorable mention for me.
Okay.
He's a C-list character, but I defy anyone to say he doesn't look cool as hell.
You said Stingray?
Yeah. Tell me his costume isn't fire. He's awesome.
His costume isn't fire. No, I'm just kidding. I'm looking him up.
This is wrong. That's factually incorrect.
I like Captain Britain's costume better than this.
Oh, look at him. He's amazing. It's freaking awesome. Look at him. Look in the lower left. Ooh, look at
What
that
a-
George Perez drawing. Oh,
What a weirdo.
this guy's awesome. Look at him. He's underwater, man.
I mean, so is
Yeah,
Aquaman.
he's one of my
So is
all-time favorites.
Namor.
That's why Aquaman's one of my all-time favorite DC characters. Look, this guy is amazing. I love that guy.
One of the best costumes ever.
Oh,
okay.
I will.
So Sam's saying that.
Thank you, Sam. You have totally redeemed yourself.
Stingray is badass.
Amen, brother. Amen. You know, you did just mention Captain Britain, and he's one of mine too. At a certain age, you should refrain from. Oh, Greg, bless your heart. I appreciate your critiques and your gentle, caring suggestions. Thank you.
Oh
We
my
take
gosh.
everything at Defenders of Comics to heart, and we will make changes to accommodate our followers.
No, we won't. Because if we wanted to do
I
that,
know,
all we
we
could
won't
do
at
is sit
all.
on here and be pissed off at Star Wars and everything, and just with a grain of salt. This is a rumor that I have heard from my new contact that I don't know if I can trust or not. Lando Calrissian was actually a transgender.
Yeah, I just got a source that told me, Superman's gonna cross over with Luke Skywalker. It's a source I've never heard from.
So take
They
it with
also
a grain of salt.
Yeah, my source also told me they suffer from explosive diarrhea. So take it with a grain of salt. I don't know if it's true, but that's what they're saying. Whatever.
This guy does look actually cool. You need to do like a.
Wait,
You
are
need
you talking
to-
about Stingray?
Yeah, you need to do something on him.
I do. I'm going to. Why haven't I? Yes.
I don't know why you haven't.
Hour. We're going to do an hour show on Stingray and why he might be the most underrated Marvel character of all time.
I'm going to say probably no. Not an hour. We could do something like that, though. We could do underrated. We could do underrated characters.
Maybe. It's going to happen. I'm going to work on it tomorrow. We're going to do it.
Okay.
I want to do it.
All right.
Sam, if you're there, I don't know if it was you or somebody else, was talking about Slapstick. That's an underrated character, man.
Slapstick.
That character is like a psychotic Bugs Bunny or Roger Rabbit. He's a real cartoon. He's a cartoon in the real world, and he's crazy. Yeah, oh my gosh, yeah. I don't know why Marvel doesn't capitalize this character. He's a Rocket Raccoon waiting to happen. I mean, he's Deadpool meets Roger Rabbit. It's crazy.
So is a comic character in a comic book? What?
Well, imagine he's a real guy, and his superpower is he gets turned into a cartoon, basically. And so it starts to kind of warp his mind where, imagine you're Bugs Bunny or Wile E. Coyote and you think you can put a bomb down someone's pants and they just laugh it off or, have the Wile E. Coyote kind of chiseled burnt look. Well, that's not how it works in the real world. So he carries this mallet around and likes to kind of hurt people, but it's like, well, this is the real world. Not everyone else is a cartoon. So it's pretty great stuff. He's just had I think he had a new series out that I haven't got to read yet, which I'm excited to do.
I read Slapstick, Impossible Man, and Sleepwalker on a team. I don't know if I have time to get into something like this. Sorry.
Yeah. Sam, Sleepwalkers. I really like Sleepwalker. I can't get into Impossible Man as much. I should. I just can't get past the Conehead part, so I always think of Dan Aykroyd when I'm looking at Impossible Man, but you are right. Those three would make for quite a combo.
All right.
All right. I think we got some good ideas, man. We got to go on most underrated characters. That's a cool.
I think that'd be good. I think that'd be fun.
Yeah.
All of us bring in our own. I'm for that.
Might happen tomorrow. I don't know.
Sam could be
Watch
for
out
that.
TikTok tomorrow.
All right.
Yeah.
Anything else?
Well, there's a lot.
You
want
to talk about Snake Eyes?
But,
Are we
oh
good?
my gosh. Yeah, I guess I think we're good, but let's end the show on, hey, Snake Eyes starts previews tomorrow night. I'm going to go. My son and I are going to go check it out. So I'll try to put up a mini blurb or something on TikTok and give our initial thoughts on it. I'm hoping it's good, or at least decent, you know.
I think it's going to be good.
It doesn't seem to be having a lot of, I hope so. Doesn't seem to be having a lot of buzz. Maybe I'm wrong about that. I'm not hearing a lot, and it comes out this weekend. But in the days of COVID, who really knows? It may be a hit. I hope so. I really want to see more of the Hasbro stuff. You know, I'd really like to see a G.I. Joe versus Transformers, what they're talking about, and bringing in Mask and ROM and Micronauts. So it could be fun, and I'm hoping it's good. I would love to see a really good G.I. Joe film. The other two were okay, but none of them really hit.
What did you think of this Storm Shadow?
Well, just based on his appearance, I think the other Storm Shadow that was in both the G.I. Joe movies previously is going to be tough to beat. I just thought he made a really strong Storm Shadow. But this guy, you know, he may knock it out of the park. So I'm not really familiar with any of these actors. I had never watched Crazy Rich Asians, which I know Henry Golding, I think Golding was the star of. So I don't know much about any of the performers in this movie, but that might be good for me. I don't have any expectations, so.
See you, Sam.
Do well. See ya.
All right.
So we'll see. Fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed.
All right.
We are done.
That's gonna do it.
Peace.
Peace out.